Yes, if you leave your hand up. Of course, in this conversation, what I'm trying to do is just catch you up with what we talked about last week.
So I'm just trying to sort of challenge one of my fears.
Yeah.
So a couple of times I have felt as though it might be me that makes it into at one before everyone else.
Yeah.
And I appreciate some of those times I was under the influence of drugs and or alcohol.
Yeah.
And
highly unlikely that's going to be the case under the influence of those things, right?
Anyway,
Yeah.
I just want to ask whether you think it's going to be you or one of the other 14 that makes it into that condition.
Why are
someone
you
else.
even worried about that, River? Like, what would, and also what would drive you to ask that question in this discussion? Like, it's a very strange question to ask in that regard, because firstly, there's a strong feeling of competition in you, isn't there? Yep.
Yeah.
Which is what motivates the question. So my suggestion is deal with that, because you're not going to get anywhere closer to God when you have a feeling of superiority competition with others. Like, God treats all of us as equals, and our desire is going to determine whether we become at one with God or not, and nothing else. So at the end of the day, whoever has the strongest desire will be the person who becomes at one with God, is the answer to your question. But it's interesting that your question is motivated by quite evil emotions, actually, right? Because of competition and desire for superiority over others, a desire to not feel equal to others, to feel like you're better than others, wanting to feel better than others. And these are all quite evil emotions that drive a lot of badness on the planet. If you think about even the wars that are going on right now, you see one person decides, one leader decides, we're going to go to war with another country because of wanting some superiority over that country in some way or another, wanting to take from that country some way or another. So this emotion drives even these kind of very severe results that we see on the planet. And that's an example of how something we think is innocent actually is quite evil in its underlying motivation and causes many, many disastrous and problematic things occurring on the earth as a result. So these kind of emotions are not helpful to your relationship with God. They're also an indication that there's a desire to break the law as well. You follow?
To some degree, yes.
Yeah.
I get you.
No worries. Okay, so let me